Hello everybody, this is Namtox with Namtox Plays, and this time it's going to be a new type of thing I'm doing called Namtox Reviews, where I'm going to be giving my honest and brutal opinion of whatever game I'm going to review. So, one thing you need to know about me is I'm very opinionated, and I can be kind of an asshole with my opinions because I claim to think, or I tend to think, that my opinions are the only ones that matters. Like most people. I'm just not afraid to say it. So, I'm going to call this factual opinions. That's what it is. My word is the final word. It's the only word that matters. And that's just going to be how it is. So, I figured for the first one to be Uncharted 4, because this is my most recent playthrough. And yeah, this game is, at first glance, it's incredible. I mean, look at the visuals, look at the characters, look at the environment I'm in right now. When it comes to how it looks, there's nothing that compares. So that's kind of a moot point. I don't want to discuss how pretty it is, because you could boot the game up for 2 seconds and see that it's gorgeous looking. That's, you know, like, why waste time on that? I'm not going to be able to factually tell you that it doesn't look pretty. That's stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm not an idiot. So, you know, if you've played any of the Uncharted games, you know how they go. Very lighthearted. Indiana Jones style, action-adventure, big moments, big epic set pieces, a lot of climbing, some minor puzzle solving, nothing that's too crazy. And with Uncharted 4, it is a bit different than that. It's made by the team that headed up Last of Us, which was very different feel and game than Uncharted. So, you know, I was very curious to see how they would pull it off. You know, would they keep it serious? Would they keep it, you know, would it be a different style of game? And it's not too different. I mean, you have some things like the stealth has been vastly improved for the combat scenarios. No clickers here, but they definitely brought some improvements to the combat. But then there's things with the campaign where it almost feels like they wanted to become like Oscar bait for video games. Like the campaign is too long. Like, there's a couple chapters that they could have used and cut down, or there's a couple chapters that could have just been a cutscene. There's a lot of climbing, and the thing about Uncharted is that climbing is not hard. Like, the most that's gonna happen is you'll fall because you don't realize you're supposed to grab onto something when you're not supposed to, or it's not obvious that, oh, I'm supposed to wait for this moment before I jump, because if you break the game scripting, it just all falls apart. Which doesn't happen too much. The game does a pretty good job of, like, holding your hand through that stuff, but it's not like in-depth platforming. It's not better than the last Tomb Raider. The combat is fantastic, which I'll get into right now when I climb up here and destroy this guy. The combat is really good. Fast pace. You can just move around well. The controls are extremely responsive. It feels real nice. I got some bullet time here. And the reason I'm doing the bullet time is because the game has, like the other Uncharted games, has a lot of really great post-game unlockables. So, you know, the combat is fun. It moves. The stealth is great. That's one thing from Last of Us that really brought over the feeling of being able to take out an entire room without being seen, combined with the big action moments. Just don't play on hard or crushing, because like their other games, they don't seem to balance the game well for the harder difficulties. It's hard to have fun with the higher settings, which, you know, that's why you can play with the cheats. Like, if you want to play with cheats and go to the harder settings, you can. It's just not recommended, especially if it's your first time through. The rope stuff is pretty good. Whoa. But the rope stuff is also where the problems, I think, begin for Uncharted. Ooh, look at that. Because the problem with the rope is it's too obvious when you need to use it. It's too telegraphed. So it's not like when you're in Tomb Raider and you have a big open environment and it's like, ooh, how am I going to figure out this environmental puzzle? It's like, no, you use a rope when the game tells you to use a rope. And that's kind of it. Besides finding maybe a random secret here or there, you're not really going to get a chance to really experiment and goof around and have fun with it. That also extends to everything else in the campaign. Game suffers from what I like to call Legacy of Kain syndrome. Oh, well, I completed that encounter, so let's just restart that one. If you remember Soul Reaver, the first Legacy of Kain, it's one of those games that when you go through it the first time, all you can think about is how incredible it is. But when you think about it and think about replaying it, this game has really serious problems, especially the problems with every single time you go through a stage, and it's an overused trope. A lot of games overuse gimmicks to help you get through them. You know, whether it's like someone opening a door for you or having to give somebody a boost. But with this game, it's boxes. Boxes and boxes. It doesn't matter where you are, how old the tomb is, how hidden in the world it is. There's always a crate with 4 little wheels in perfect condition no matter what. Which is, you know, it's a thing that you can overlook in a lesser game. But when a game tries so hard to take itself seriously like this one, and to look as good as it does, and to establish a world. I mean, look at this place. Look at this place. You know what's in this place? A bunch of crates with wheels that conveniently are there to get you through an area. And I feel like it's a gimmick they rely on too much, and it makes a lot of the environments become predictable, because it's always going to be, you got to give your brother a boost, he has to give you a boost, and you'll run around and run around and run around, and at some point, no matter what part of the game you're at, the beginning, the end, you know, a warehouse or an ancient temple, he's going to have to push a box down for you that you're going to conveniently need to use to climb up. And it's just very, very monotonous. It's not fun. It sucks the life out of the campaign, and when I think about that, it makes me not want to replay it, because it's just like, that, you know, all those parts are just like, it's just so not good. Like, you figure they would have thought of a better way to handle those problems. Same can be said for the combat encounters. Now, the game does a pretty good job with combat in terms of how it happens, but let me tell you, if you're going around an environment and you see tall grass like this right here, know that you will be in a fight. Tall grass is a great mechanic for the stealth, but it also really gives away when there's going to be a fight, because you don't really see tall grass unless there's going to be combat. Like I said, not the biggest problem in the world. It's just in a game like this, it sticks out more because of everything else they're trying to do right. So in the end, those things are minor, but I do think the campaign is dragged down a lot by those problems, and you know, it could have been a lot better if they had worked on that. You know, cut out the boxes, cut out the tall grass being so obvious, shorten the game by, I think, 4 hours. And I think this game would be much better. Actually, I know it would be much better. So, that's it. I mean, the game has a multiplayer component. I could talk about it, but I'd rather not. It's not good. It's okay, but it's full of all the shit that Call of Duty has ruined for modern games, with loadouts and boosters, and you need to play the game. It makes the assumption that you're going to play this game forever and nothing else. That's the only way you're realistically going to unlock all the things it has to offer, which is a bummer. You know, you think about Uncharted 2, it was very lighthearted. It was like you get in there, you have your basic weapons, and you just have fun. You know, that Uncharted 2 beta, I feel like, was the height of their multiplayer, and I feel like they've never reached it, because they always try to take this game and make it something it really isn't. You know, and they also didn't include co-op, which is a bummer. I know it's coming in an update, but that's a cold comfort for someone who spent $60 and wants it right now. So I don't know, if you've played the other Uncharted games and you want to see the end of the storyline and how it goes, definitely pick it up and play it. But maybe a rental. I don't think it's worth $60 if you're just going to play the storyline one time through. You know, give it a try for the multiplayer. You know, if you like it, sure, go ahead. On PS4, there's not like there's a ton of multiplayer options, so it's definitely functional. It works. You know, good party support and everything. It's just not the preferred thing to play, especially with games like Overwatch and shit like that coming out soon. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna give it a number. I'm not a numbers guy. It's if you want to try it for the reasons I said, then you know I feel like it's great for that. But it's not the game of the year masterpiece that people are making it out to be. It's not that. Just know that going in, and I think you'll have a better time. Whereas I feel like if you hear all these things about how it's the greatest game ever made, and you play it, you're gonna be like, what? Or are people crazy? This game is not anything like that. Ooh, that is very pretty though. Look at that. Yeah. So that's it. That's my factual opinion about Uncharted. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. If you do, great. I don't know. Tell your friends about it. You know, like the content, follow, and every little view helps. I'm on the road to 50 subscribers. Wow, I can't talk right now. And I'm just gonna keep dumping. And that's my review of Uncharted. I give it a solid rental. That's my number. It's a rental. It's a rental out of 10. And well, I beat the game again. Look at that. I'm too good. And I'll see you guys next time and later.